It has been called the equivalent of legislative boot camp by our next guest, as a matter of fact. We're here, meet the leaders on Optimum Local at the state capitol, the last day, 24 hours or so of the session. And Representative Kim Fawcett, 133rd District of Westport and Fairfield, is with us. Legislative boot camp. I think that's a great description of it.
I think I coined the phrase.
I think you have, and we'll give you full credit, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it's because they don't let us go home in the last 2 weeks. So.
Please. But that really is the way it goes. You've got so much work that is now piled onto you.
Right.
And now you can see it. You've got less than 36 hours to go.
Right, yeah.
And they're going to be using you all of those hours too.
Absolutely. The people of Connecticut really don't realize that because we work under a timeline, the Constitution says that we have to go out of session midnight, the second Wednesday of May, which is this Wednesday. At midnight, everything that we're working on 2012 ceases, and all the bills that haven't passed die. And so because we're working on that with that deadline, what happens is the 2 weeks before that Wednesday, we're here every day, and we're here 15, 16, 18-hour days, working practically around the clock.
You know, your point is well taken, and the bills dying is a good reference point, because we're talking about 3,500 bills been brought up, 450 are dealt with sort of at some point, sort of.
Yeah.
But the rest of them die, and basically it's zero-based bill again, right?
Right.
So if you want to bring that bill up again, you've got to go from scratch.
Yes.
And work it all up through the system.
Yes, you do have to start from scratch process-wise, but what happens to the concept of a bill is it gets momentum each year as more people get to know about it. Perfect example is the GMO bill. I don't know if many people have talked to you about that, but this is a bill that would require labeling for genetically modified food. And what has happened about 15 years ago, scientists started genetically modifying seeds. When they did that, they've impacted the type of food that's being grown, and a lot of people around the country want to know if the food they're being fed, the food you're eating and feeding your children, is genetically modified. There are some links to increased risks of disease with genetically modified seeds.
But people just like to know.
We in Connecticut are saying we just want to give people the right to know if you make your own choice. There was a bill this year. It actually had a great year. It got out of the Environment Committee. Unfortunately, it did die before it got to the House floor, and I know the activists that worked so hard are really disappointed, and they felt like politics at play maybe killed the bill. And there's certainly things about it, that stopped it from moving forward, but the momentum for that bill is phenomenal, and I know next year that we're all going to come back and have a bigger voice and maybe move the bill a little bit further.
As the old Brooklyn Dodgers used to say, wait till next year.
Yeah.
Representative Kim Fawcett, always a pleasure to talk with you. You've got a lot more to do before you rest, but thank you so much for sharing some of your time with us on this busy schedule.
Thank you for having me.
Real pleasure.